Sometimes we reach a point where life no longer feels the same, even if nothing around us has changed. We start to notice things we cannot fully explain, a shift in our thoughts, our desires, and even our peace. These moments are not meant for everyone. God reveals certain signs only to those He is preparing for something bigger. While others may see confusion, we begin to see meaning. While others feel lost, we begin to feel guided. These signs are quiet, but they are powerful. Like this video, subscribe and comment "I trust God" so He may bless you, and stay with us until the end because a blessing is coming your way. Number 1, God is slowing you down. What if the delay you are feeling right now is not a setback, but a sign that God is protecting something you cannot yet see? We often assume that when things slow down, something is wrong. We feel the urgency to move faster, to fix, to push, to figure everything out. But there are moments when progress suddenly feels blocked, when doors do not open as quickly as before, and when the pace of life becomes uncomfortable. And in that stillness, frustration begins to grow. But what if this slowing down is intentional? When God is preparing us for something significant, He does not always accelerate our path. Sometimes, He slows us down so we do not arrive too early, too unprepared, or too distracted. Because a blessing received at the wrong time can become a burden instead of a breakthrough. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us that there is a time for everything, and that includes the timing of what God is about to release into our lives. We may feel like we are falling behind, watching others move forward while we remain in place. But God is not measuring our progress the way the world does. He is aligning details we cannot see, arranging circumstances beyond our control, and shaping us internally so we can sustain what is coming next. This season of slowing down is not punishment, it is positioning. It is God teaching us how to trust Him without constant movement, how to rest without losing faith, and how to wait without fear. And if we are being slowed down right now, it may be because what is ahead is too important to rush. Number 2, your desires are changing. Have you noticed that things which once excited us no longer hold the same meaning? Even though nothing around us has visibly changed, we can still be in the same place, around the same people, doing the same routines, yet something inside feels different. What used to satisfy us now feels empty, and what once felt important begins to lose its grip on our attention. At first, this shift can feel unsettling. We may question ourselves, wondering if we are becoming distant, unmotivated, or disconnected. But this is not confusion. This is transformation. When God prepares us for a greater blessing, He does not begin with external changes. He begins within. Because if our desires remain tied to the old season, we would not recognize the value of what is coming next. So He gently reshapes what we crave, what we pursue, and what we prioritize. Philippians 2:13 reminds us that it is God who works in us to will and to act according to His purpose. This is why certain conversations start to feel empty. Certain goals no longer feel fulfilling. Even things that once defined us begin to fade in importance. It is not that we are losing direction, it is that God is refining our focus. He is removing the desire for what cannot go with us, so we do not carry unnecessary weight into the next season. Because some blessings require a different mindset, a different hunger, and a different level of alignment. If we feel this shift within us, it is not something to resist, it is something to recognize. It means we are no longer who we used to be, and that is often the clearest sign that God is preparing us for something greater. Number 3, losing everything around you. Why does it seem like things begin to fall apart right when we are trying to do everything right? We start to notice distance where there was once closeness. Conversations feel different. Opportunities we relied on quietly disappear, and without warning, the support system we trusted begins to shrink. It can feel like loss, it can feel like rejection. But what if it is neither? When God is preparing us for something greater, He often removes what would interfere with where we are going. Not everything that was good in one season is meant to follow us into the next. And sometimes, what leaves our life is not taken away to harm us, but to protect what is being built within us. Genesis 12:1 shows this pattern clearly when God called Abram to leave everything familiar before revealing where he was going. The destination was not given first. The separation came before the direction. This is why the process feels uncomfortable. We are being pulled away from what is known without yet seeing what is ahead. It creates a tension between trust and uncertainty. But God is not creating emptiness without purpose. He is creating space. Space so that distractions do not dilute the blessing. Space so that the wrong voices do not influence the next step. Space so that when the door opens, we are not divided between where we were and where we are being called to go. If things around us are falling away, it may not be a sign that we are losing. It may be a sign that God is clearing the path for something we could not carry before. Number 4, resistance increases when you obey. Why does opposition seem to rise the moment we decide to take God seriously? We make a clear decision to pray more, to live with discipline, to walk in obedience, and almost immediately, everything becomes harder. Distractions increase, doubts grow louder. Situations that were once manageable suddenly feel overwhelming. It can feel discouraging, as if something is going wrong. But this is often where clarity begins. Resistance does not always mean we are off track. In many cases, it is a sign that we have stepped into something that matters. Because movement attracts attention, and when we begin aligning ourselves with God's direction, we enter a space where both growth and opposition exist at the same time. First, Peter 5:8 reminds us to stay alert because there is an active force that seeks to disrupt, distract, and weaken. This is why the challenge intensifies, not before we decide, but after. The moment we commit, the pressure tests that commitment. Yet this resistance is not meant to stop us, it is meant to strengthen us. God allows these moments so that our faith becomes stable, not dependent on ease or comfort. He is training us to stand firm when things are unclear, to remain focused when distractions appear, and to continue forward even when progress is not immediately visible. If everything feels more difficult after choosing obedience, it may not be a sign to retreat. It may be confirmation that we are stepping into a direction that carries weight, purpose, and impact. Number 5, unusual pressure without explanation. Have you ever felt a weight that you cannot clearly trace back to anything specific? Nothing dramatic has changed on the outside, yet internally there is a growing sense of pressure that does not seem to lift. We are not doing anything wrong. In fact, we may be trying harder than before, and still, the intensity increases. This kind of pressure can be confusing because it does not follow logic. It is not tied to a single problem we can fix or a situation we can control. It feels deeper than that. But this is often where God begins to expand our capacity. Before anything visible changes in our lives, something invisible must be strengthened. Our patience is tested, our discipline is stretched, our ability to trust God without clear answers is developed. These are not surface-level changes. They are foundational. Isaiah 48:10 speaks about being refined in a furnace. A furnace is not designed for comfort. It is designed to reveal what is weak and to reinforce what needs to endure. Without this process, what looks strong on the outside would not hold under real weight. That is why the pressure does not immediately go away. It is not there to overwhelm us, but to prepare us. God sees what is coming before we do. He knows the level of responsibility, influence, or blessing that lies ahead. And if we are going to carry it without breaking, we must first be strengthened in ways that are not visible to others. If we are feeling pressure that does not make sense, it may not be a sign that something is wrong. It may be a sign that something within us is being built to handle what is coming next. Number 6, small wins start appearing. What if the breakthrough does not arrive all at once, but in quiet moments that are easy to overlook? After a long season of waiting, we may expect something dramatic, something undeniable. But instead, what begins to show up are small, almost subtle changes. A prayer is answered, but not the biggest one. A door opens, but not the final one. A sense of peace appears in places that once felt heavy. At first, it can feel underwhelming. We might even question if these moments truly matter. But this is often how God begins to signal movement. Before the full blessing is revealed, He allows us to see glimpses, not enough to complete the journey, but enough to confirm that we are on the right path. These small wins are not random. They are intentional. They rebuild trust after seasons of doubt. They sharpen our awareness so we can recognize His hand more clearly. Zechariah 4:10 reminds us not to despise small beginnings, because what appears small to us is often the foundation of something much greater. God rarely moves from nothing to everything in a single moment. He builds step by step, layer by layer. These early signs serve a purpose. They prepare our faith to handle what is coming next. Because a sudden breakthrough without preparation can overwhelm us, but gradual confirmation strengthens us. If we are starting to notice small progress after a long period of stillness, it may not be coincidence. It may be God quietly reminding us that He is already at work, and that what we have been waiting for is closer than we think. Number 7, you feel set apart without knowing why. Why does it sometimes feel like we no longer fully belong where we once felt comfortable? We can be surrounded by the same people, the same environment, even the same routines, yet something inside tells us we are no longer the same. It is not always visible to others, but internally, there is a quiet sense of separation that is difficult to explain. It is not pride, it is not distance created by choice, it is awareness. When God begins preparing us for something greater, He often creates a distinction before He reveals the direction. We start to feel different, not better than others, but different in what we value, how we think, and what we are drawn to. Conversations that once felt normal now feel shallow. Environments that once felt familiar now feel out of place. This can be uncomfortable, even isolating. We may question whether we are losing connection or becoming too distant. But this is not about disconnection. It is about positioning. 2 Corinthians 6:17 speaks about being set apart, not as a form of rejection, but as a form of preparation. Because what God is building often requires a different environment, a different mindset, and a different level of focus. Before elevation comes separation. And this stage is where identity begins to shift. We are no longer defined by where we have been, but we are not yet fully standing in where we are going. It is a transition that feels uncertain, yet necessary. If we feel set apart without a clear reason, it may not be something to fix, it may be something to recognize. Because God does not set people apart without purpose, and what feels like separation now may be the first sign that we are being prepared for something we could not step into before. If we have seen even a few of these signs in our lives, then what felt like pressure, loss, and delay was never random. It was God preparing us for something greater than we can currently see. And if this message spoke to us, then the next video on the screen will go even deeper into the quiet struggles that many chosen women carry in silence, revealing truths that may help us understand our season in a way we never have before. Take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share in the comments what resonated with you, because your voice matters and your faith has purpose. Stay encouraged, trust God's timing, and remember that He is not finished with you yet. See you in the next video.